Oh no, it looks bad. All right, what's up, everyone? It's Nick Atkin and Tom Taylor, post-fight podcast. South Turner Morning Post back for another episode with our special guest this week, Jon Di Bella. We're just lining up the big guests, Tom, aren't we? We had Mikey Musumeci last week, Jon Di Bella this week. Champions, two champions back to
Yeah.
back. Aren't you people lucky, huh?
How are we going to follow this up, man? We're putting a little bit of pressure on ourselves here to deliver, great guests week after week. I don't know, man. It's going to be tough.
That is the issue. It's going to be tough. That is the problem. But if anyone can do it, I think it's You mentioned you may have Daniel Williams in the pipeline.
Yeah, I haven't
So I
asked him
can,
specifically for next week, but I'm sure he'd be down. And yeah, man, we got a whole roster of fighters to choose from, so I'm sure we'll be able to find somebody most weeks. But getting a champ every week might be difficult. We'll see.
We'll see. Let's try and keep going next week. We've already put some feelers out, don't worry. But if you have anyone you'd like to see us bring on to the show, please let us know in the comments. Also, John won't be joining for another 15 minutes or so at least. So if you've got any questions you want to ask, fire away. We can do some Q&A. Obviously, not too much to talk about in the world of one that we didn't cover last week. So, yeah, any questions, we can do that. Otherwise, yeah, eventually I think we're going to preview a little bit of Lumpinee or Friday Fights 2, however you want to call it. And yeah, it's a decent looking card, Tom, isn't it? It wasn't going to be as big as last week's, but it's still an enjoyable card.
Yeah, I like this one because I think it's probably more indicative of what we're going to see week to week. The last card was obviously great. Had had one former champion, Prajan Shai. It had Muang Thai, and of course Nongo defending his title in the main event, a big title fight from one of one's most dominant champions. That was pretty special, but I think it was special because it was the debut. I don't think we can expect that kind of quality every time. Not to say that the fights won't be good, but in terms of name value, I don't know that we're going to be seeing somebody like Nongo on every card. However, this one is quite good this Friday. And if they all look like this, and we have, a couple relevant fights per card and then a few up and comers, I think that is a big solid, and I think that's something we can all enjoy, kind of cards of this quality. And the other thing I noticed too is that this fight, instead of being 12, this card rather, instead of being 12 fights, is just 11. Not a huge difference. But I think by, the midway point or kind of the 8-fight mark last time around, we were all sort of fading a little bit, kind of just looking forward to getting to the Nongo fight and seeing what happens with the title fight. 12 fights felt a bit long. But as I said, this one will be 11 fights. And I don't know if that's because the one championship brass were watching this podcast, listening to us all kind of not complain, but fatigue a bit as the broadcast went on, but yeah, this one will be a bit shorter, and I think for me at least, that's definitely a good thing. Now, guys, Nick has to do a little bit of work on the side as this is happening. He's cleaning up a little bit he's doing some editing for the post.
I'll put you on big screen briefly.
Yeah. So apologies for his silence. He's doing important things. So I'm going to take the lead for a few minutes while he handles that.
Get some questions in.
Yeah. I was going to say, good thing is there's already questions popping in here. Vegan Crane, great to see you again. One of our main guests, our main viewers. You're always around, and we appreciate it. Ayaka Miura, that's a good question. I haven't interviewed her before, but as we all know now, she's fighting Danielle Kelly at the next big event, the February 25th one in Bangkok, in a grappling match. I interviewed Danielle Kelly about a week ago. I don't know if you saw that, Vegan Crane, and I don't know if you care. I don't know if you're a Danielle Kelly fan, but I will, now that you've asked, I will ask the One Japan team for an interview with Ayaka Miura. Can be a little bit tricky sometimes with the fighters on the other side of the world who also need translators, because it's a lot to coordinate with the time zones and the translator schedule, but I'll do my best to get one with her sometime before that fight. And when I do, I'll make sure you see it. What else do we got here? Yeah, I saw this comment from you before, Vegan Crane. What do you mean funny fight? Just because there wasn't a ton of action? I mean, Panda said after the fact she sort of maybe took it easy on Miura. She didn't want to hurt her. Is that what you mean? Let me get to some more questions here. Sam, what's up? How you doing? Where are you tuning in from, man? Let us know. And EgoKind, you want a Chatri interview? Nick just had Chatri a week ago, I think, right after that first Bangkok card of the year. Nick spoke to him, unpacked a lot of the big issues, talked about Arjun Bullar, Victoria Lee, of course, some very heartfelt stuff from Chatri in that one. So yeah, we do have a fairly recent Chatri interview up on the channel, but of course, the sport moves very fast and these interviews tend to be irrelevant within a week or two, unfortunately. So we will try to get him again soon, maybe in the lead up to the next big Prime Video card, which is February 25th in Bangkok. That's the evening of the 24th for people in the United States. Here's a good question from John KL. Is Sage Northcutt being a tad too ambitious by taking on Ahmed Mushtaba for his comeback fight? Thought he'd take a tune-up fight first. First off, what's up, John? Always great to talk to you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, this was my thought too with this matchup, right? I mean, Ahmed Mushtaba, I think for a lot of people is an unfamiliar name. We just haven't heard about him the way we've heard about Sage. Hasn't fought on the same platforms. Much lower profile, obviously, but if you watched his recent fights, you know that he's very good and he's a great finisher. Nick and I were in the building for his last fight with the Brazilian guy, Abrao, I think was his name. I can't remember if that was the Singapore show or the Manila show last year because we were there for both of them, and they've sort of blended together in my mind. But we were there in the building for that one when he choked out a BJJ black belt. And the fight before that, if I recall, he got a first-round TKO. So that's two first-round finishes in a row. One of them coming, via submission against a BJJ guy. Clearly, this dude's got a finisher. He's got great killer instincts, great skills. And Sage, as you said, has been out of action for almost 4 years now since that loss to Cosmo. And that's, without even mentioning the fact that Sage has always been weak to grapplers. I can't remember. I think he's lost twice, maybe 3 times. And I know at least one of them came by way of submission. Clearly, this is something he struggles with. And Mushtaba obviously has a good ground game, great submission capabilities. And he can crack as well. He's got power as well. If I had to pick this fight, I think a lot of people in the West, perhaps, UFC fans would expect Sage to blow through this opponent because they haven't heard of him. But I think this is a tough fight for Sage, and he will. If I had to pick right now, I would pick Mushtaba to win for sure. As for Sage taking a tune-up fight, I kind of get the sense that maybe that's how he's looking at this. That's how one's looking at this. He's still a big name, Sage, right? They could have given him somebody, a bigger name, a more prominent name. I think they're looking at Mushtaba as a sort of surmountable test, but I think when the cage door closes, we will all see that he's perhaps not as surmountable as we thought. It's a good fight though, man, and it's good to have Sage back. I'm a little skeptical about him making it to the cage. As we know, he's been scheduled a few times since that loss to Cosmo Alexandre all those years ago, and so far hasn't actually made it back. There was that Shinya Aoki fight that was in discussion, but that fell through. I think he got COVID or something. So there's definitely some cause for skepticism. But yeah, it's going to be a good fight. And again, guys, sorry for rambling over here. As I said, Nick is just quickly finishing some work, so I'm holding down the fort while he does that. Yeah, he's still around, still listening, making sure that I don't veer too far off course.
Badminton. How thrilling is my life?
He's handling the really important stuff. Oh, wow.
There's a big event going on in Jakarta right now, and it is not One Championship Prime Video.
Damn, I'm going to be
Indonesian Masters. You're going to be there.
I'll be in Jakarta like 2 weeks from now, man. I think I'll probably miss it, unfortunately.
You're going to miss the final. Yeah.
Oh, damn. That's the whole reason I was going, man, to catch some badminton. I'm down bad for the badminton, man. I can't help it. EgoKind chiming in here. Okay, the Batman fight fell through. That's why there's only 11 fights on this card. Damn, I was kind of hoping that One Championship had heeded the words of all the fans and slimmed down the card a little bit. But maybe they'll hear this and think about that going forward. I don't want to complain too much about getting 12 fights a week. We're all fight fans. It's nice to watch a lot of fights, but 12 fights, whether it's one championship, Bellator, UFC, tends to drag on a little bit, in my opinion. And I know from last week, other people feel that way as well. What do we got here? Sam, tuning in from London. All right, fellow Brit for Nick. Welcome. I'm glad you were able to make this one live. We always have a lot of fun doing these, and as Nick said at the top of this one, the strawweight kickboxing champ Jon Di Bella is going to be joining us in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, somewhere in there. He said around 9:20, so we'll see him pretty soon. Al C, welcome back. Another regular viewer. It's I know I say it every time, but it's always great to see your names in the chat and know you guys are watching week after week. You're friends at this point. This is all one big happy family, so it's great to see you guys again. Do I think Colby will get back? I don't think so. I had some questions about that signing from the get-go. I don't know. I didn't and still don't know a ton about Colby and her motivation and her desire to compete, but I got the sense even from the get-go that she was not, committed to fighting every couple of months and that she wasn't looking at the title in her division really, maybe in a vague way, but it didn't seem like she was really, dialed in on becoming a contender in one championship. And that's not a criticism. I just know she's got quite a bit going on outside the cage and whatnot. And I know more recently she's been at some of those karate combat shows. I think obviously with her husband, Raymond Daniels. So I don't know what she's going on, but at this point, it's been long enough that I don't really think she will fight for one. And I think she's under an exclusive contract with one. So if she doesn't fight for one, I suspect that her fighting days are done. Who knows though? It'd be cool to see her again. She's got some great tools for that weight class. Like we saw in her debut, I can't remember the name of her opponent, but looked like she was about 7 feet taller and had like a 95-inch reach advantage. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they get her back because, man, that division is still hurting for contenders. We talk a lot about it. One has beefed up a lot of their divisions. The heavyweight division is a great example. We've seen welterweight expanding a little bit recently, but that women's strawweight division is hurting for talent. So someone like Colby would definitely be good to have. Nick, welcome back.
Colby Northcutt may not be back, but I'm back. That's all that matters.
Well, that's what the people want. Yeah.
Got some technical difficulties here.
Good timing, Nick, because that was the last new question on the screen. Yeah. So, man, I was about to start babbling about nothing.
Well, I guess we can talk about some other news while we wait for John JDB. I don't know what else is there. I put out some stuff this week.
Yeah, I was just
the ratings for Lumpinee perhaps seem to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Number one in prime time in Thailand, according to Nielsen, with a 3.9 rating among males 14 and over, I think, whatever that demographic is. And Chatri went on a big Facebook post about it all, thanked almost every single person in Thailand, I think, by name, in a very long post, which I condensed into something a bit shorter. You can check it out at scmp.com/martial arts, of course. Some other news. But yeah, what do you think of the ratings, Tom? That's a promising start for them.
Yeah, it speaks to the fact that there was a lot of buzz before this. People were paying attention. You never know. I mean, one is well established in Thailand at this point, but before something like this starting, where it's the start of a new partnership that's going to be lasting the whole year, it's hard to gauge ahead of time what the interest level is, right? But now we know that at least in Thailand, a lot of people were watching and paying attention, which is a great thing for one. And a really promising sign ahead of the second event and the 51 others that are going to happen this year in Lumpinee. We'll see if they can maintain that impressive viewership level. Obviously, these things are easier said than done, but a really good start, man, I would say, and not totally surprising because maybe MMA has that hard time catching on in Thailand, but that's because the country is Muay Thai crazy, right? So, I mean, they care about that sport and obviously tuned in for a reason.
Yep. I guess some other fun news we could talk about is the Iron Man is now the Iron Monk, Rodtang Jitmang Non. ordained as a Buddhist monk. He has entered a monastery for 2 weeks, got his head shaved and everything. It's fun, isn't it, Tom? Apparently, it's. I've seen a few other fighters do this actually on social media, but I think because it's Rodtang, it's blown up a bit more. A lot of people enjoying this content on social media. A fun one, isn't it? And I think he's also getting married soon, so that might be why he's doing it.
Yeah, it is cool. I don't know how common it is among fighters from Southeast Asia, Buddhist fighters to do this, but it's always cool when fighters kind of show us another layer of their personalities, another layer of who they are. And Rodtang, there's a lot we knew about him. We knew he's a great fighter. He's a crazy man in this circle. He's aggressive. He can be a little bit on the quiet side. He's a bit of a joker. We knew all this, but I think this was a new side of him, to see him in his robes with a shaved head, collecting alms. We saw that on Instagram. Just really cool. Yeah. I mean, what else can you say? It was a cool thing, man.
Yes, indeed. Looking forward to seeing it unfold.
Yeah,
but I think we have our guest is here. If you want to do the honors, Tom.
Yeah, let me bring him in. The champ is here. What's up, man?
What's up, guys? Good morning. Buongiorno.
Oh, buongiorno.
How you doing? Good.
You guys?
Good. John, have you met Nick officially yet? That's Nick Atkin over there. Nick, no. That's John down there.
Nice to meet you. I'm texting only by text, but nice to meet you finally.
Yeah, I've got to apologize to you, John. I wanted to come to your fight when you won the belt in October, I think it was, right, in Kuala Lumpur. But I'm an idiot and I forgot to renew my passport, so I had to apply for a new passport during the time. So I missed that event. So yeah, I'm excited to hopefully see you fight your first title defense. I said the same to Fabricio Andrade, who fought against John Lineker in the Prime Video main event. Also missed him. So luckily, I'll see him next month against Lineker in the rematch. But we don't know when we're going to see you, John. You got any updates for us? What's going on?
I got some updates, but nothing really major. So like, I don't know if you guys know, actually, the Danielle Williams was calling me out and stuff. And so like we were contacting them, we were talking about them. One saw that we're both interested in the fight. And finally, I believe they got back to us, and I believe it's not going to happen. I don't know why. For some reason, they said they don't want the fight to happen right now. So they said they have other plans for me. And that's it for now. Those are the updates for now.
Did they give you a sense of like what the other plans are? Because I'm guessing, as much as we all love Daniel Williams, I'm guessing they were looking at, his last loss in MMA. He did get kind of outstruck. So maybe they're thinking, he's not the most credible challenger for you right now, because that's everyone's kind of most recent memory of him.
Yeah.
It'd be a crazy fight though. So like, have you gotten a sense of what they want to do instead?
No. So we're just waiting to hear back from them now. Yeah. Like we're in the wait. Yeah. It's wait.
Damn it. Yeah, well, hopefully they get you back in there soon, right? You want to, as I spoke to you like 2 weeks ago, and we talked a lot about that Denver show, man. I think you got to get on that one.
Yeah, that's right now. It's my main focus is to get on that Denver card. Like I saw Sage has gone on it, so it's kind of cool. Like to see all the North American guys, and I want to be the one representing kickboxing in North America. It would be really cool. I believe like it would be like the first major mixed event in North America, so like why not be on it?
John, you got to tell me. Sorry to interrupt, Tom, because I had to ask this to John. That would be obviously a bit closer to you, not too close, but closer than Asia. Tell me about the trip to. Did you have some trouble, like with your layover getting to Kuala Lumpur last time?
Yeah. So last time we got stuck. We had 2 doses of vaccination. So me and my team. So we couldn't, like in Japan you need 3. So we missed the second flight because our flight was delayed back home. So we missed the second flight and we couldn't leave the airport because we missed the second flight. So we couldn't get a hotel because we couldn't leave the airport. We only had 2 doses. So we slept at the gate. We slept on benches and stuff. The whole team, like me and my team, like we all just we trained at the gate. Like we trained at the exact time of the fight. Like I was skipping rope and everything was closed. No restaurants. We couldn't eat, so there was no restaurants. everything was closed because of COVID, and we're just there for 24 hours.
Damn, man. I know for me, like when I have something big and important coming up, granted, I've never had anything as big and important as a title fight, but when there's something big coming up and then something like that happens that like kind of derails the momentum and messes up the plan, like I don't react well to stuff like that. Typically, I stress out. Like if you're being honest, when you're stuck in that airport in Tokyo, like how stressed out were you? Did it mess with you at all?
I believe I was the only one to calm. Actually, my whole team was getting nervous. Including my father, my manager, my friends, and my girlfriend and my mom. Like they were all like stressing, you know, like they were all getting nervous and they were like all like worried like about me like not eating and like not not like adapting to anything, you know, because it was kind of weird, you know, like seeing all the lights closed, all like we got to the airport, everything was closed, like it was very strange, you know, it was not like a Tokyo expecting, you know, so like
Yeah.
like. So yeah, like I had to stay calm. I had to like I had only one goal and to win the belt, and that's all I saw. So I'm like it's okay. It's just a little. We'll get back. We'll get in Malaysia, and we'll rest the next day.
Yeah. Cool, man. What did you think of KL when you finally got there? What did you think of the city?
It's nice. I didn't leave the hotel much. So I just like so like because of the delay and everything, I was staying in the hotel. I made sure I got that proper rest. So like the hotel was nice. There was a bunch of restaurants, a bunch of like cool stuff. But I didn't leave. I only left the hotel once, and it was for a media shoot that one asked for, and it was actually nice. It was like in a nice area, so we had like it was a nice coffee shop, and it was reminded me of home a bit, so it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a big coffee guy. I take it from
Yeah.
Instagram, right?
Yeah, right.
Is that Italian coffee? Of course, yeah. Espresso. Nice, man. Nice. Looks
I
like
also
good
have to
stuff.
compliment you, John. I find you're a very snazzy guy. You have some pretty cool outfits as well.
Thank you.
Is that
I
something
agree, man.
you take a lot of pride in? Because even when you're at the weigh-ins, I think you were looking super sharp. Most people just come in sweats like I'm wearing now, but you were in some nice. I can't remember exactly what it was, but looking pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
is
take
that
pride in the look.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of old school, trendy look. Yeah, like vintage.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
better
I
than
saw.
Tom and myself? I think.
Yeah, definitely,
Well,
man. There
Tom's
was.
pretty fashionable as well. You know, I'm
Yeah.
I
not.
don't know about that.
You know, yeah.
Look at you, Nick, with your great haircut, man.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
The hair
we should
looks
all
nice.
reconsider a career in the fashion industry, man. Enough with this fighting and journalism. Let's become supermodels. Make some real money.
Coffee and fashion.
There you go, man. Yeah, we could start a coffee and fashion podcast that nobody will listen to. Yeah.
That's it.
Well, John,
Well, cool, man.
did you catch the Lumpinee then? The
I
first
did.
event.
I
Yeah.
did. So in KL last time I became friends the whole week with Alaverde, Romanazov, and I was like and I'm like I was talking to him the whole weekend. I became friends with him, and we got along. We got along well, and I was looking forward to him winning, but unfortunately he didn't get the win. Nongo's a great champion, so it was all due respect to Nongo. He's really good. But yeah, it was a good card overall. I saw there was an atomweight division. That's pretty cool. For the guys, I don't know if it's doing a division or just for like Lumpinee, but it's cool. Yeah, it's cool to see.
Yeah, I saw that there was. I think it was like a 112-pound catch weight or something.
Yeah,
Even.
yeah. That was cool.
So if one, I know from speaking to you before, like you don't cut any weight. You have that great line about weighing the same after a plate of spaghetti bolognese or whatever. Like so, if one opened up a division south, like would you go down to that division and compete there too?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I can make 115. I make 118. Yeah. When I fight boxing, I do. I make like I fight at 115. 118. I fight 118, and it's easy for me. Like 118. I make it easy in boxing. So yeah, if for sure I would try it. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You did some boxing this summer. I think you had two fights. Were they both in Montreal?
They were both at Montreal Casino. Yeah.
Yeah. What was that like doing a boxing match? That must have been kind of interesting for you.
Yeah, it was cool. But I've been practicing my boxing for a while. Like my dad and like we practice boxing. We go spar at high level boxing gyms, and so like we're used to the boxing. But like once you get in there, it's a bit different. Yeah, it was kind of different crowd, different atmosphere. Yeah, it's cool. It was cool, especially fighting in Montreal. We had a lot of people come. So like the casino the first time I fought, it was like 60 people, and like it was last minute. It was a last minute fight, and like 60 people came to watch. It was good. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah. Have you like? I mean, I know you're from Montreal and that's where you live and stuff, but I know a lot of your career also has happened in New York City. Like, how many times had you fought in Montreal before those boxing matches?
None. And pro as a
Wow.
pro, none. Amateur,
Yeah.
like a few amateur. Just because my dad organized a few amateur fights cards when I was younger, just to get experience for me and my team. So like yeah, that's it. As a pro, zero. I never fought. Yeah.
That's really cool, man.
I fought all my fights were in all my pro fights were in New York City, and my first fight out of town was in KL.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, damn. That's cool, man. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, look,
Nick,
there's
were you gonna say something?
yeah, just there's a
Yeah.
few questions if we want to get into it.
Yeah, go for it.
While they come on in from Kakang Rudianto, what do you think about the open weight Grand Prix, Muay Thai Grand Prix, John?
Oh,
Would you
man.
like a kickboxing one as well, perhaps?
That's crazy, man. I don't know what to think about that. It's a bit nuts. Like I can't picture like someone like Urso fighting Rotang. Kind of that's crazy. Like even Urso fighting with Siri, or like it's a bit it's nuts. Especially with the
Yeah.
4 ounce club. It's like it's not like it's a cool thing, but I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about that. But it's
Yeah.
cool to see. It's cool to see. I hope nobody gets hurt. But yeah.
That's the risk, right? Like with that's the nature of an open weight tournament, right? You can have huge guys fighting smaller guys, and I don't know if you saw, but the first fighter they announced that's going to be in it is Sinsamut Klinmi, who's a lightweight.
Yeah.
So that's literally right in the middle of one's 9 men divisions. So like that doesn't tell us if it's going to be heavier fighters or lighter fighters. Like, is he going to be fighting flyweights or is he going to be fighting heavyweights? You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like because it's like if it's like all the top strikers in the world. So like if it was like Rotang fighting a guy like a regular guy that way, like a regular fighter that way, okay, maybe. But you're fighting the top guy in the world, you know. So it's hard.
Yeah.
It's kind
The
of
good
hard.
thing though, as we're all wondering about this, like if you look at one's heavier weight classes, there's not really any light heavyweights or heavyweights in one doing Muay Thai right now. There's some kickboxers obviously, but I don't know if they would go to Muay Thai. So maybe I think probably they'll focus on like lightweight, featherweight, flyweight.
Yeah, that would be like 115 under. That'll be a bit cool. Yeah.
Yeah, as a guy like fighting in a lighter weight class yourself, like what do you think? I mean, I know you don't want to discredit yourself, but like what's reasonable? What's the maximum weight class that you think guys your size could be fighting that's still safe? Like lightweight, featherweight?
I would say like 145, 145, 125, 145 maybe. But like even that, like it's too risky. Yeah, it's like a risk. I can't go 135. Like the guys come down from like huge. Like this is impossible. Like they cut from 150. So like it's kind of hard. Yeah, it's kind of hard. But it's interesting. One keeps like everything interesting. So it's cool to watch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
All right, there's a bunch more questions for you here. First, I'm going to follow up with one comment from the same guy, Kakang Rudianto. He says, "You have the dopest Instagram content in one, John." So that's
thank you, man.
Cool.
Thank you. I try.
You definitely succeed, man. Here's one from Ego Kind, another one of our regular viewers. He's wondering if you'd want to get on one of those Lumpinee cards in Thailand at some point.
Yeah, hopefully one day. I hopefully get on that Denver card first, and then after that we go to Lumpinee. Yeah, it'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think about fighting in that arena? It's such a famous arena.
Yeah,
it'd be kind of cool, right?
It's nice. It's a nice arena. I like the atmosphere. I like that it's like small. Like it's not too big. It's not too small. It's all like it's very cool. The only thing is I got used to the cage, so now like the ring kind of threw me off a bit. But I like the setup. It's cool. But I like fighting I got used to the cage now, so it's kind of cool. But the ring is nice too. It's all white. It's nice. It's very cool.
Yeah, I guess I hadn't thought of that. Your fight against Zhang was that your first fight in a cage?
It was my first fight in a cage. I was getting used to it. Yeah, so I was like practicing in the cage in it. So I got used to the cage. But yeah, the ring is nice too. Yeah.
How difficult was it to adjust to the cage? Like we talk about that, the fans all the time, but it's hard for us to appreciate, right? Like how different it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, it was fighting. Yeah, because I was like as soon as I knew I was fighting in a cage, like I started practicing in the cage, and it was good. Like it's not that different. It just you don't stay on the ropes so much. Like in boxing, it's a bit different because like you go on the ropes, you practice your defense on the ropes, and you get different angles. But in kickboxing, like we work on open mat, so it's kind of the same as an open mat in the cage. So it's cool. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then a follow up to that one. I know a lot of people are wondering, would you ever do Muay Thai? That's, I think, what's being asked here. I know I've asked you about this before. Like,
Yeah.
do you have any interest in trying that at some point?
I have I have interest, but not now. I want to like defend my title a few more times and maybe like try a fight or two. But mainly I'm more of a kickboxer, so I'm gonna stay in kickboxing for now, and hopefully I'll try a Muay Thai fight in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Here's a cool follow up to that, man. What do you think about kickboxing in the 4-ounce gloves? Like that would kind of be a good transition between kickboxing and one's Muay Thai. Is that something you would do?
Yeah, that was something I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think would that change the defense? Obviously, with the smaller gloves, like you have a smaller shield, basically. How would that change it? You think?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm good. I have a good reach, so I have an advantage of that. And but yeah, you have to watch out for that in the inside. Yeah, you gotta watch out for I sparred though. I sparred with like 6-ounce gloves, so in kickboxing, so that's good. Yeah, for sure.
Cool, man. Yeah, sweet. All right, here's a bit of a big question. It says, speak to me like I have no clue who Jon Di Bella is. Where is he from? And how did bro just win a championship in his debut? How is he so good? How are you so damn good, Jon Di Bella? Where did you come from?
You guys answer that. you guys answer that one.
Well, I can answer part of it.
I guess
Montreal.
Yeah, from Montreal, but you signed, didn't you, before the pandemic, and then you were delayed. I think your debut was delayed, right? That's why we didn't see you until October. But like a few fighters, I think, had that situation. Jared Brooks, Anissa Mexon. So it wasn't like you came out of nowhere. You were kicking around.
No, so like I won like in like 2019. I had that was my last kickboxing fight before this was the championship fight, so it was kind of hard to adjust. But like I won the North American title in New York and on a glory undercard, and I've been winning in North America. I've been going up the ranks, and then like I find like one championship they don't just pick anybody. Like they pick the top guys in the world. So like they picked like best guy from North America, best guy from South America, best guy from Africa, best guy from Europe, best guy from Asia, and then they put them in the same division, and they'll make you go fight, especially in the striking divisions. I don't know if it's like that in MMA, but in the striking divisions, I see it's like that. So so I believe that's what they chose a North American champion, and they like what they saw, and they signed me. Yeah, in 2020, I believe it was beginning of 2020, right before everything happened with COVID, and I had to wait, man. I had to wait 2.5 years to fight. Yeah.
How closely were you in touch with them during those 2 years? Like, were you hearing from them pretty regularly, getting updates on their plan for you, or were you just sort of wondering when it was all going to happen?
Yeah, sometimes you hear from them on and off, yeah, like at the beginning it was going to be hard because I actually got a fight offered in, I believe, October 2020. Yeah, against Wang. He's the guy with the mohawk who fought Sameh for the belt. Wang, yeah. I got a fight offer with him. We accepted, and like the rules, the restrictions were like way bad at that time. They were getting bad, so like we had to cancel everything. And that's what happened. Yeah, we had to cancel everything because we couldn't have took a chance going there and then coming back. We could have got stuck like in a month of lockdown in Singapore. So I couldn't leave our room and everything. It's crazy. The corner had to go different hotel room. We couldn't see the coach. Couldn't train with the corner. Yeah, it was kind of hard. Yeah.
Cool.
So
man.
that one got postponed to my fight. Yeah.
Yeah. Just grabbing the last part of this question from that guy BRD here. Like you've been kickboxing since what, like 2 or 3 years old or something? You told me.
Yeah.
And then and your dad obviously has been your main coach and obviously an influence on you. But like he's got some really good credentials himself in kickboxing, right? He's a champion as well. What's your dad's story?
Yeah, so he's 3-time ISK world champion. Yeah, he fought all over the world also in kickboxing. Yeah, so like, he has a lot of experience and for sure. Yeah, and he gave it all to me. He gave it all to me. Yeah.
So I guess the short answer to how are you so good is that might be it. You've been kickboxing since you were a toddler.
Yeah,
That'll do it.
That's the answer. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So like I feel like a lot of people ask me like like that question, and like I believe like it's all like you feel like it's like hard work and dedication, a lot of repetition. You have to repeat the same thing almost every day. And you gotta practice it almost every day. Because if you don't practice, if you're not good at like the same things, and like you gotta make sure you're good at it, you know. And then you gotta practice. You gotta practice your sparring. You gotta practice your running. That's another thing. That's dedication and hard work. Has to be installed in you, you know. Yeah.
I know you love your job and you love kickboxing, but just doing it day after day, are there days where you're like, man, I don't want to do this right now. I don't feel like being a kickboxer today.
No, not necessarily. I want to be a kickboxer. Sometimes I'm tired. I want to stay home and relax and rest. Yeah. But like, I always want to fight. Yeah, I always want to fight and train. I like to fight and I like to train and fight. That's like my number one priority. Like some days, yeah, you need to rest. Some days I think about like opening up a coffee shop or cafe. Sometimes, yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure, that's like that's in the future.
Yeah, good retirement plan. What do you do for fun outside of punching people, kicking people, and pounding coffee? What are your hobbies?
Yeah, I watch a lot of soccer, calcio football in England. So I watch a lot of that. I'm a big fan of Italian Serie A soccer, so I watch a lot of that. And when the Champions League is on,
what's your teams? Come on.
Sorry.
Well, who are your teams? You got one in Italy.
Right now in the Champions League, I like Napoli. Napoli. Yeah, Napoli's one of my teams. Yeah.
So you guys might win the league finally.
Yeah, they're number one. Yeah, they're number one right now. They're playing a big game.
Been a while. Yeah, I think they're before you born. That's the last time Napoli won the league.
Exactly.
Diego Maradona used to be there, right?
Yeah. So I'm a Napoli fan. Yeah.
That's cool. I think there's a question for Tom here. Is that Mr. Beast on the left?
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know what that means. I realized that I'm on the left. I don't know. I guess
so, he's a very popular YouTuber. You'd be making a lot more money than this if you were Mr. Beast. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we look the same or something. I don't know.
Perhaps.
But no, I'm not Mr. Beast. I'm just a guy from Ottawa.
He's Mr. Best.
Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah, drop that A.
Favorite fighters, John, from ONE or UFC? How about let's start with UFC? If you watch it at all?
I've been watching. Right now. I like Alex Pereira.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah.
Big Alex Pereira fan. I fought on a few of his undercards in Glory, so that was cool. That was cool to see him go to from kickboxing to MMA that fast and become champion. That was very cool to see. Yeah, I was actually there ringside when he became champion. I was cage side in the UFC, and it was cool. Yeah.
Oh wow.
He's like I'd say him and Izzy are my two top favorites in the UFC. Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Do you want to see the fourth? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Do you want to see the fourth fight with those two guys, or you want to see Pereira go up to light heavyweight?
Yeah, that's cool. I see the guy Hill just won. I would like to see Pereira go up and take him out. That'll be cool to see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be cool. But I want to see. After that, I would like to see a fourth fight. Yeah, for sure. Because Izzy caught him on a nice punch. I saw what happened right in front of me. I saw like Pereira was like stunned. So.
Oh yeah, you were there for that, right?
Yeah, I was like there ringside, and I saw Pereira's face in the first round. I believe at the end of the first round, Izzy caught him on a nice. I think it was a straight, and he got rocked. Like thank God the bell rang because that could have been over. Yeah.
Yeah. When you watch all these, guys like that transition into MMA, does it kind of make you want to try that at some point?
Yeah, so like during the pandemic, when one wasn't I wasn't fighting for one and everything, I was thinking about it. I was practicing my grappling and everything. And then after I see one like doing good things, and I'm like, let me stay in kickboxing and do what I do best for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The other part of that question, favorite fighters in ONE. Is there anybody that you really dig watching these days?
Yeah, I like a lot of I like Siricha, I like Ursul, I like a bunch of them. I like all the strikers. I'm a fan of all the strikers. Rotang, I like everybody. So like every champion that has a belt right now in the striking division, I'll watch. I'll watch for sure. So I like them all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think you said, you mentioned you were on some of Alex Pereira's undercards. I think you were on some of Sidichai's cards as well, too, right?
Yeah, that's why.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was on I was a few. I think one or two. We fought the same card as Sidicha. Yeah, that was cool. He's a super nice guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was hitting us up in our DMs, or his coach was, or something, after Chingiz beat Superbond, because I think Sijai has a win over Chingiz Alazov, so he wants a title shot.
So yeah, I saw Sidichai for the first time like since I saw him in New York. Like I saw him in KL because he was fighting the next day, and yeah, he's super cool. He's super relaxed and super friendly. Yeah, very nice guy.
Yeah, cool.
I've just been told that Napoli would beat my team, Man United, John. So we'll see. I don't know. Are you guys in the Europa League or the Champions League? Because we're in the Europa League. Yeah.
Yeah. United's in the Europa League. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Well, next season, buddy, we'll be back there. We're fourth at the moment. Something else here. Questions. Yeah. How about? Oh, you already answered that. Yeah. John Haggerty. Are you a fan? Crombopoulos Rosenas. If you're a fan of the man we call Shaggerty, Jonathan Haggerty, how would you fare against Haggerty in kickboxing?
Of course. So, would I ever fare against? But like, I believe he's I would love to, but I believe he would. He's at 145 now, or is he 145?
Yeah, he went up. Yeah, he's a bantamweight now. Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been cool, but he's too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you don't really have any interest in going up to flyweight, right? Like it's just not really doable for you.
No, it's impossible. No, if like they open up like an atom weight, yeah, but not not that's too heavy. Yeah, because I don't have to cut. Like I'm underweight. When I fought Zhang, I was even like when they did the fight the post fight weigh in.
Oh yeah,
like, I was under. Like I told me I was underweight. So yeah, it's hard. Yeah, and I was eating. So
yeah. Damn, man.
Yeah.
I guess it'll be cool though to see some flyweights drop down and challenge you, maybe, right?
Yeah,
hopefully. You'd like. Yeah.
Yeah. Or we could do catch weight. I could do a catch weight at 120, 130, 129, 130. That'll be cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then on that Instagram post we did about you and Daniel Williams, obviously that's off the table for now, but someone mentioned they want to see you fight Lasiri, your fellow Italian. Whether it's in Muay Thai or kickboxing, is that one you'd be keen on doing at some point?
That'd be cool. Listen, I'll fight like whoever. Like I'm interested in fighting anybody. So it doesn't matter. Who I'm interested in fighting. It doesn't matter who they put in front of me. Just as long as it's the weight and yeah.
Someone, John, said to me today, have you and Joseph Lasiri ever been in the same place at the same time?
No, not yet. No,
they think you're like him in disguise and he's you in disguise, and you're like, they think you look similar,
You do look a bit similar, yeah, and same weight class too, yeah.
Same weight class.
Yeah. And both Italian, yeah. I got to see you guys in the same room together to make sure you're not the same guy. I get it, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Couple more questions there, Nick. You want to throw some up?
Yeah. I would take this one.
There's one from Alvin.
Yeah, Alvin says, hello, Mr. Di Bella. Alvin he moderates the comments on the chat. Sometimes it gets a bit spicy, so he makes sure everything's good. He says, what's your favorite tea? Is it Earl Grey or green tea?
Favorite tea, I guess chamomile. Yeah. Before bed.
More of a coffee guy though, right?
I'm a coffee guy, yeah. I'm an espresso guy. In the morning, espresso. But yeah, if I have a tea, I guess either a mint tea for digest and or a chamomile before bed, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tristan is saying, love from Sitsong Pinong. Hopefully we'll see you poolside soon, champ.
Yes.
Here we go. I think he messaged us, wasn't it? Yeah.
Alvin. Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, Tristan.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I saw him and his team at poolside at the hotel. Yeah, they're super nice guys.
Okay.
Super cool guys.
Nice.
Another from Alvin. Mr. Di Bella, is it more difficult to cut the ring or the cage? I've been told by many analysts the ring's easier to cut off than the rings of corners. What's your opinion? We may have touched on this earlier, but for Alvin's benefit, what do you think?
Yeah, ring is definitely a bit easier to cut off, and you have a little bit of a bounce in the cage. You're kind of like it's like a wall, so you're stuck. So yeah, you can't like it's hard to cut. It's hard to cut angles in a cage unless you keep it in the middle. But if your back is towards the fence, it's hard. Yeah, it's harder to cut against. It's harder to cut when you're against the ropes. It's more easier. Yeah, you have a little bit of a bounce, and yeah, you have those corners to angle out. Yeah.
Cool.
Sure.
Let me ask you this, John. We recently learned that Fabricio Andrade and John Lineker, their bantamweight title rematch in MMA, will be in a ring instead of a cage. Yeah. So I don't know how closely you follow those guys, how well you know their styles and stuff. But who do you think that favors? Is that better for John Lineker or better for Andrade that it's going to be in a ring? You think?
I don't know. I think it's better for Andrade because he's a striker. I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I believe. Yeah. So
he's a striker. Yeah.
So it could be better for him. I think it could be better for him, but you never know. You never know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good fight though. I think the first fight happened the day after I fought in KL, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I was on the plane back home. I couldn't watch. I was watching, but yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Well, it was. It ended in disappointment, as I'm sure you saw. There was a shattered cup. Yeah. What did you think about that when you saw that plastic cup that just exploded? Is that something you've ever experienced before?
No, I never experienced that. No, I gotta wear metal. Gotta wear metal cups. Metal cups.
Yeah.
Don't wear a foam cup like Soldich, Roberto Soldich, with his hard foam cup.
We have to start checking the cups now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. You'd think I'm surprised they don't do that already. Like, not while it's on the person, but check it beforehand. Make sure people are using adequate cups. You'd think they would check that, but
I guess
what
so.
do I know?
Yeah.
Should I get another question?
Yeah, I saw one about the Zhang fight there from BW Huncho. You see that?
I'll come back to all of them. Whoever's asked them. BW Huncho. Yes. What was the game plan in the Zhang fight, which led you to victory, and how did you cope before such a big fight such as that?
Yeah. We got really prepared for that fight. He has a good style. Like Zhang is number one. Like I find it before I beat him, he was number one. Like he was the top guy to beat. And like I believe like there's many ways to beat Zhang. We just we had like a plan A, plan B. So I kind of mixed it up and like I went out there and just felt him from the first round and I went with the flow. And my dad just told me to mix it up and like do what you do best, and whatever came naturally. We went out there and did it, and that's what happened. Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay. Man. Another from Tristan. Yeah, who are you going for? City Chai versus Petrosian.
Oh man, that's a good one. I like both guys. Yeah, it's a tough one. That's a good question. I wouldn't say I would go for anybody. I became friends with City Chai. But I like Petrosian. I've been watching him since, so I like that. Like, I'm not answering that question.
Yeah, he's your fellow Italian.
I like both of them.
Yeah,
I like both of them. They're both. I think yeah. So they're both southpaw, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're both. So I like that too. That'd be cool. But I don't think they ever fought. They were supposed to fight many times, and they never ended up fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but maybe the fact that Tristan is asking about this suggests that fight is in motion or something. That would be cool.
Maybe. Hopefully. I like both of them. I like both of them really much.
What do you think of this division? As a whole. I mean, even I saw they just lost Enrico Cale's gone to Glory, I think.
Yeah, I saw that.
But yeah, I mean, even without him, it's still is it pound for pound the best kickboxing division in the world?
Yeah. So and I saw Enrico Cale, go to Glory, right? I don't know. Maybe he got I don't know. Maybe his contract in one expired and. Glory gave him a good offer and he took it. So, but has he been winning or losing in one?
He just lost to I want to say Marat Grigorian.
Yeah, I think he fought Marat, didn't he? Yeah.
In Singapore in November, I think it was.
Okay.
Or September, October.
Yeah.
All these events, man, just blur in my head now. But yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully, he is where he, like in Glory, he does a good job there. Hopefully.
Yeah.
He's got a win over Chingiz, is it as well? He beat
Oh,
Chingiz's debut.
oh yeah.
It's the whole division is just, they can all
Yeah.
beat each other on every day, right?
Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah, he was a good fight with him and Chingiz. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. John, by the way, if you have to go, you can jump out
No,
at any time. It's
no,
great. It's great to have
I-
you, but yeah,
no, I
cool.
can stay. I can stay. My training's a bit later, so I can stay. I'm
Okay.
good.
Cool.
All yours.
Yeah, we won't go like too much longer, but yeah, if
Okay,
you have to
cool.
go anywhere, feel free.
No, I'm good.
But there are more questions for you here. Here's a cool one. I think I understand this one right. What's your favorite attractive strike? I think he's just saying like, what are your favorite strikes that set up other strikes, like the body jab, inside low kick?
Yeah, I like. Oh man, so many. I like the low kick. I like body kick. I like head kick. I like the jabs, the 1-2s. Yeah, depends the day. It depends the day. Like sometimes I like. I don't know. Like depends like the opponent and depends the opportunity and depends the day. Yeah, whatever I'm in the mood for that day. But I like a lot my left kick and my straight left and my jabs and my hooks. Basically everything.
Well, you're good at everything, man. That head kick definitely served you well in the fight with Zhang. You know, and in fact, it may have even be what won you the fight ultimately.
Yeah.
Is that like one of your best weapons? Like, if you had to pick one strike that you think is your best weapon, what would it be?
Yeah, my left kick is one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, one of my favorite weapons because like it can like come out like at any time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How did you set that one up? I mean, I guess I could go watch it back, but do you remember what you were doing to get him to like react to that properly for that head kick?
Yeah, so like in training, me and my dad were watching, and he throws a wild left hook. So like he throws a wild left hook, and he leaves himself open. And I was looking for that in the first round. In the first round, I was looking for that. I don't know if you guys saw the head kick I was trying to land in the first round, and then I was trying to blend it in up down. But yeah, I saw in the previous fights he used to leave himself open when he threw a wild hook, and especially when he gets tired. And that's what happened when he got tired. He left himself open, and I got him.
Awesome, man. Well, that leads really perfectly into this next question from Ghost Phantom, another one of our regular viewers, a real part of this community. How often do you watch film on your opponents? Or does your dad watch the film?
Yeah.
I mean, what does the tape study look like for your team? How does that work?
In big fights, like my dad. Well, in all fights, my dad watches. My dad does mainly that. But like sometimes we'll watch it together, and we'll see like how he is and how his style is, and we try to adapt or train to that.
So how does tape study really work for you guys? Like if it's your dad watching, say, like, does he just watch all of Zhang's fights that he can find and kind of like jot down notes almost as he notices habits and things that Zhang does, and then takes that to the gym and says, I saw this.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And you just like when he comes into the gym with a plan, you just like it's his word. You're good with it. Yeah.
So like we'll talk it over for sure. Like he'll show it to me, and like we'll see. And I'm like, okay, and then I'm like, yeah, that works too. And if I see anything, like I'll tell him, and we'll work it around. Yeah. Like the head kick. Like I saw it. I'm like, look at the hook, and he leaves himself open. And he's like, yeah. So we practice that on the pads a lot. The left kick with him throwing a hook and me throwing a left kick. Yeah, we practice a lot.
How much attention do you pay to the rest of your division? Like when people in your weight class are fighting in one, do you always try to make sure to watch those fights? Are you always studying kind of?
Yeah, I know everybody. I know what they're doing. I know what they're doing when they're not fighting, when they're not in camp, and I know when they're doing when they're in camp. I know what they're doing when they're not fighting them. I know everything about them.
Mm-hmm. I know it's all respect between you and Daniel Williams, and as we said, that fight's probably not happening next. But in the week or two that you guys were kind of talking about a fight, did you see anything in his game that you thought you could expose? Like, were you picking apart his game?
Yeah. You see, of course, you see that in every fighter. Of course, you see that in every fighter. You have to, but yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna talk about much about that though. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, a couple more questions here. I'll throw another one up. Here's a cool one from Kakang again. Who are your GOAT athletes, greatest of all time? All sports, not just combat sports. Who are your favorite athletes of all time?
It's a good question. On the top of my head, put him on the spot. Obviously, Michael Jordan, one of them. I believe I like Maradona as a soccer player. He's one of my favorites. Yeah, for sure. Ali, Mayweather, Ali. Those are
Yeah.
those are the top four I can think of right now. Yeah, sure. So yeah,
What
so
about
Michael
just like
Jordan, Maradona, Ali, and Mayweather. Those are the top of my head
what?
right now. Yeah,
That's a good list, man. Those are some
yeah.
serious accomplishments. Who are your favorite kickboxers of all time? Not just like the greatest kickboxers of all time, but who have you most enjoyed watching in the whole history of kickboxing?
For sure, Petrosian, um, George Petrosian, Nicky Holskin. I've been watching these guys since young. So yeah, those are the two guys that stick to my head. Yeah, one of the greatest kickboxers of all time for sure.
Cool. A few. Yeah. Here's another one. What are your thoughts on kicking the inside of the rear leg like Rico Verhoeven? Do you like that idea?
Kicking the
Kicking.
inside of the
Yeah.
rear leg. Yeah, yeah. Like yeah, that's cool. I like that kick too. It's awkward though. You gotta watch out the way you throw it. Like if like Rico's really good at it. Like Rico's really good at it. So like you have to watch out because you can be walking into like a straight punch. So you don't want to get caught off balance if you do that. If you like try to do that kick and you miss, if you miss, you can get caught with a punch. So you gotta watch out with that. But Rico's really good at that, so he can get away with it. Yeah.
Speaking of heavyweight kickboxers, here's another technique question. What are your thoughts on the right straight to the body, like the one Badr Hari used to use?
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, the straight right. Yeah, but I'll do it as a southpaw, and I'll do it like a straight left to the body. That's cool. I like that. I like that punch a lot. For sure. I like setting up that punch a lot too.
Cool, man. Here's another one.
We had one from earlier. Sorry.
Yeah, I just
shall
put
I
one
do-
up. Is this what you meant,
Yeah.
Nick? Vegan Crane was asking if you know somebody named Alberto Tamba. Does that name ring any bells, John?
No.
Yeah, I
I
don't think.
think that was for your greatest athletes of all time.
Okay,
Or,
I think they
or,
meant.
or everybody in my division in that.
It's an alpine ski racer, I'm presuming from Italy. Yes, he.
Okay.
I guess a famous Italian. Yeah, gold medals at the Winter Olympics in 1992 in men's giant slalom.
Sounds familiar, but I'm not much of a ski guy.
Yeah. Now we know, man.
Now we know. This question I was going to bring up just a bit earlier. Sorry, I missed it. Was who do you think's got a better fighter skill wise? One or UFC, including Muay Thai and kickboxing fighters too.
One for sure. Yeah,
Company man, I love it.
one for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, in terms of the striking side, that's almost impossible to argue, right? Like clearly there are better strikers than one.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, man.
Well, those are all the questions for now. So if you have any more, get them in. But otherwise, I think we were just going to do a quick preview of the next Lumpinee card.
Yeah.
If you've got time, John, bring it on screen for you here. One Friday Fights 2. I'm not sure if it's called Friday Fights or Lumpinee, but we'll call it Friday Fights, I guess. But I'm bringing it up on screen.
Yeah, it's Friday. I think it's Friday Fights from now on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It was so confusing, to be honest, like what it was actually called, what time it started. They tried to break it up into two cards. I wish they just have one card, but I understand why. But anyway, here we are. Sangmani versus Kulabdam main event, bantamweight Muay Thai. I think this is a rematch, right? So, this is the main selling point of the card. John, can you get with that? Anything else on the card catch your eye?
Yeah, so the main event looks good, and I think Sangami is this his name?
Sangmani, I think.
Sangmani. I think he's gonna take it.
Yeah, I think they fought like 2 years ago or something, and Kulabdam won by knockout, but it was like a big shock, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's there's not a ton of huge names on this one. In fact, like no huge names, I would say. But
Marie Rumey is back.
Marie. I seen her fight.
She lost to Anissa, a Mexican, and also someone put this in the chat earlier. A little interesting bit. She just beat the fighter who is marrying Rodtang. Because we were talking. Here you go, Ego Kind. So Rodtang's getting married to Ada. Looks like Kongding. She just lost to Marie Rumey, who will fight for one tomorrow. A lot of interesting information here.
I got a great little anecdote about Rodtang and his girlfriend, soon to be wife. It's
What?
nothing offensive, but I was interviewing Rodtang a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know if you know John, but he and Stamp Fairtex in the early days used to be, they were an item, right?
I remember.
They were
I remember
yeah,
that.
they were a couple, and I think they're still on good terms. But I was asking Rodtang some questions about Stamp, just about fighting, nothing gossipy. But it was like right as the moment that his girlfriend came into the interview and like walked across the screen. And then, the look on his face was so funny as I asked him about Stamp, like right when his girlfriend came on. Because, I mean, neither of them speak great English, but it was clear like what I was asking about, man. And it was so funny. I think he probably hates me now. I don't know if I'm ever going to do an interview with him again.
Oh, boy.
I saw them.
Violated the bro code.
They're on good terms, in where was I? Bangkok. Yeah, they were hanging out.
Do they train at the same gym in Fairtex? At Fairtex?
Rodtang's in. Yeah, sometimes he's there, but not always.
Yeah.
They're on good terms though. They were spending time. They were laughing, joking. They were all like part of the same group throughout the week.
Yeah, I think it was just more awkward.
Yeah,
it's funny.
But we also got Pong Siri.
Yeah,
he's an old school one championship guy.
His brother was just on the card last week, right? His twin brother, I can't remember his name, but he lost.
So who's the one that fought? Is that Liam? Did he fight Liam?
That was Muang Thai. He was on the card last week, but Pong Siri, he was supposed to fight Liam Harrison at the last Prime Video card in Bangkok like 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah,
he was supposed to fight Liam, but then Liam realized, I think, that the injuries he had in that Nongo fight weren't fully recovered yet. Yeah, so he wasn't able to fight, and now Pong Siri is on this fight card against Farzan Sicek. I don't know how you say that, but presumably a good fighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I getting this wrong, or was Pong Siri cut last year, but now he's back?
I don't remember.
I remember writing a story. They cut 5 fighters.
Is it Sansari's a twin brother?
Yeah, Sansari fought last week, and I believe he lost. Yeah.
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 I might be talking complete bollocks. Yeah. So.
That's nothing new.
Nothing new. I hope he hasn't been cut, but yeah, it looks like he's back either way if he was cut.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's training. He was then in Bangtao when I was around there, but look forward to that one. It's going to be fun. Again, like Tom said, I don't have much name recognition from any of the other fighters there, but I'm sure some of our viewers do, such as Ego Kind, who's a very avid Muay Thai fan. But we'll be watching anyway. Yeah, for sure.
Did the Lineker Andrade card come out? I believe it did.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Throw that up.
How did that one look?
Yeah, there's some good ones on that one.
Get your tickets, guys. Lumpinee Stadium, it will be. It's going to be one event on Friday night and then Saturday morning. Maybe I'll just sleep at Lumpinee Stadium overnight. It might be easier. But here we go. John Lineker, Fabricio Andrade. I like the sound of that. Tawanchai and Jamal Yusupov for featherweight Muay Thai title.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Martin Nguyen, Shamil Gasanov. Check out Tom's interview with Martin on the channel. Not right now. Do it after this. Daniel Kelly, Ayaka Miura, catchweight submission grappling. A lot of fun fights here. Danny Kingad, the King, is back. He could get himself right back in that title conversation with a win over Echo Ronnie Saputra. And then Semipet Zhang Chenglong, Andre Stoitzer, and Francesco Haja. I can't pronounce it. Light heavyweight kickboxing should be fun. What do you know about these guys, John?
Which one? Which one are you talking? Bantamweight?
The light heavyweight kickboxing here at the bottom.
I don't know much about these guys. No, I don't know much about these guys.
No. How about Samapet and Zhang Chenglong?
I know those two. That's gonna be a good fight. Yeah, I believe Zhang Chenglong was from Zhang's team, I believe.
Yeah, China. Makes sense.
Yeah, I believe so. That's gonna be a good fight.
Seriously.
Fairtex versus Shangli Fight Club. That'll be cool. That's a good one. Yeah.
Nick, is there like some post limbs or prelims down there? It looked like there was more at the bottom.
Oh God, really?
Oh
yeah. Secret fights. Yeah.
Tom got
okay, nothing major there. That's...
Well, Linda Darrow and Victoria Souza, atomweight, and
Grappling
Uwali
match. Yeah.
Kurdov and Tommy Langaker. He's got a bit of a rep, hasn't he? I think Cade Rutola wants to fight him next, but looks like they want Tommy to get a win first before perhaps challenging Cade. And Adrian Matthijs against Zhelang Zhashi. I hope I pronounced it right. Strawweight MMA. Why are these post limbs then? Is it just two fighters from Indonesia? I don't know why. Oh, because it's meant to be. This was originally meant to be in Indonesia, wasn't it?
That explains it.
Yeah.
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 That was supposed to be art, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they have some sort of deal with the TV network there. I don't know. But yeah, that fell through. Interestingly, but Lumpinee should be fun for a Prime Video. I don't know. It could be quite intimate, like John was saying, right?
Yeah, it's a good card though. It's a good card. I like the two main events.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
I like those a lot. I think those are gonna be the highlights of the night for sure. But you never know.
Yeah. What do you think of Tawanchai, the featherweight champion in Muay Thai? Do you know much about him?
Yeah, he's really good, man. He's so good, so smooth. For a Muay Thai fighter, he's very smooth. I find, yeah. So I like that. I like that a lot. Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, Victoria Lee. Yeah, her last victory was against Victoria Souza. Of course, that was her last opponent. As Ego Kind points out, very sad, of course. John. You know what? You must. The whole One Championship family has been hit by that. Yeah. You must have been shocked when you read that news.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking, man. Still shocked a bit. Kind of still shocked a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, same. It's really hard to process.
Very hard. I hope everybody in the family's staying strong and recovering from that.
For sure.
Hopefully, I hope like whatever their wishes are, hopefully to see them in the future and back in the cage. But whatever their wishes, they hopefully they decide whatever is right for them. You know, whatever they want to do, and they're at peace with themselves.
Yeah, well said, man. Very well said.
Yeah. We wish them all the best. I guess we can wrap it up soon, unless you got a little bit of time. There's a couple more questions, John, if you want to get into it.
Yep.
Entirely up to you. One from Ghost again. What's John's opinion on high kicking at the wrist? Ghost Phantom, very technical guy.
I like that. So, like, you mean like when they hitting their wrist? Yeah, for sure. That it's like you said. That's part of like a setup, I believe. Yeah. So that's like if you wanna aim somewhere else, you start with the wrist, and you work your way wherever you want to go. Yeah.
That's cool.
One from Anonymous. Please tell us your thoughts on Super Pets Rod Jitmong. I think this is a joke from Anonymous. Is putting a few names together. Yeah, I should have read it before I asked it and read it out loud.
You always got to read it first, man.
Those are all 4 teams in one name.
Yeah. That would be a pretty good fighter, though. Anonymous.
That might be the pound for pound best fighter in the world, right there. Winner of the openweight Grand Prix.
I think he'll win it all for sure.
All right. Well, that might be it then for questions. So,
let me hit you with one more, John.
Yeah, go for it.
One's got Grand Prix fever. They love doing Grand Prix tournaments. Do you want a tournament in your division?
Yeah, it'd be cool. Yeah, for $1 million, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's time, man.
Hopefully in the future. And
open that up.
I just want to fight on the Denver card right now. Hopefully I get on that Denver card right now. It's important, because like to make history for the first kickboxing major title in North America, it'll be really, really, really good, and it will be good for the sport, and it'll be good for North American kickboxing. Maybe it'll open up doors for everybody, like a lot more of the upcoming fighters for the future, you know.
Yeah. Do you think? Obviously you've done some fighting, some kickboxing in the United States already, but kickboxing hasn't caught on quite the same way as like MMA has over there. Do you think though, like if one really pushes it with the right engine behind it, kickboxing can really catch on in the States?
Yeah, 100%. The only right now it's like one is the main main focus on kickboxing. So like they're the best organization in the world for kickboxing, and I believe like now if like one pushes the kickboxing in North America, it'll explode for sure, 100%. So that's why like I wanna be the guy to make it explode. Yeah.
Sweet, man. I think you can do it.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Yeah, well, that's Tristan is asking when you're fighting again. We don't know, Tristan. It's up in the air. He wants to fight Denver, May 5th, Colorado. So what you got to do, you guys all got to hit up Chatri on Instagram,
Tristan,
Twitter.
everybody, May 5th, Colorado.
Yeah.
Let's
Hey, we
do
know
it.
One Championship listens, man. If the fans harass them, they listen. So yeah, if you want to see Jon Di Bella on that May 5th card in Denver defending his title, let Chatri know, let all the One Championship decision makers know, and hopefully they listen.
So, like I feel like a lot of people are gonna come like from Montreal, from New York. Like a lot of like Italian Americans, they will come watch, and for sure, and or they'll tune in on Prime. So like it'll be a good night. And same thing if I fight in Europe, like if I fight in hopefully like in Europe one day, in Italy or Paris, or they do a card there. Like a lot of people from Italy would come. Like they would come and watch. So that would be amazing.
That'd be cool. Kakang says, thanks for the chat, guys. Would love to see more of JDB. Well, so would we. Yeah, we want to thank you for coming on the show. Yeah, I think that's we got nothing else, Tom, right? For our illustrious guest.
I think that covers it, man. I as I said, I spoke to you 2 weeks ago, so you're probably tired of hearing me at this point, Tom. But
City Chai versus JDB. Huh? How about that? I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah. Well, we'll get out of here then. Yeah, because I think there's not much news otherwise. So, yeah. Thanks for John. Thanks to Tom. We'll hopefully be back next Thursday as well with another guest. We're trying to figure it out, but I don't know. We might even be back tomorrow. Who knows? For one Friday Fights 2, one Lumpinee 2. We'll see. We'll make a decision about that. We may do a live stream. We may not, but. We'll let you all know. But anyway, yeah, thanks again, John. And thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for all your questions. We'll see you again next time. Cheers.
Take care, guys. Ciao, ciao.